My name is Elwa Kokard, and my project was designing and building a fire pit surrounded by a patio. My essential question was, how does one design and build a fire pit surrounded by a patio? So my project took 3 steps. First step was designing process, which is where I looked at different designs, decided what I would like, what would be better. I also showed my parents some designs to see what they would like. I also showed my mentor some designs to see what he would like. Then in the end we decided what we wanted. Second step was figuring out the materials and the cost and where it will be. Overall it cost around $900. The last part, the third step, was building it, which was the longest step, although the research took a while too. But building it was the longest step. I did a lot of research for this project. Things that I researched were designs, looked at many designs, see what I liked, see what my parents liked, materials and the costs, see what somewhere like an estimate of what the total cost would be, and to know like the materials I would need to make this project happen. I also decided to research guidelines and restrictions. One restriction or guideline was the fire pit should be 10 feet from the house. Now this is just a recommendation, but we decided to use that recommendation because we wanted to be as safe as possible. I got most of my info from a couple different websites, but main website was the Home Depot because everyone knows the Home Depot and it's qualified and reliable. My process of research was speaking to my mentor, using Google. I use Google a lot for this project. Also, my parents helped a little bit. How did the research change my project? It changed it 2 ways. First way was that once we knew that the fire pit had to be 10 feet from the house, that was after we did the patio. Well, mostly the middle, but we decided that we were going to add 2 rows of bricks to 2 sides of the patio so that the edge of the fire pit could be 10 feet from the house, and also so that the fire pit could still be in the middle of the patio, and so it would still look good. Second way that it changed my project was the middle. I was going to dig out and put a drain in the middle, but instead I decided to make it more modern and just put the patio and then the fire pit right above it. And then we used a paste that's heat resistant to put around we put it around the bricks in the middle. That way they wouldn't like break from overheating. So that was how it changed. So my project helped me grow a lot within myself. One of the ways was that at the beginning, I would procrastinate all the time for my project. Eventually I learned to do it day by day, so I wouldn't do too much in one day. Instead I would do it little bit by little bit per day, and that helped me a lot to stop procrastinating. My strength was being persistent. Once I got into it, I didn't stop till it was done. My weakness was procrastination, of course. This project is going to help me in life because I learned to plan and research properly, and I also learned how to like plan out and do a big project such as this one. My product, it was time-lapse and pictures, just right here. I'll show you that later. Some problems I had was getting the clay, digging out the clay, making it flat. Merging videos, that was hard too. It wouldn't work for some reason to make my time lapse. I had some Wi-Fi issues. I also also had an issue uploading videos from my phone to my computer at one point. Luckily I figured that out. Also, at the beginning of the time lapse, I didn't really know how to speed it up and turn it into a time lapse, so it was just a regular video. Luckily, I figured that out too, so that was also a problem. So I'm going to show you my time lapse right here. Here it is. So this is my time lapse. So right here, that's us digging it out so that the bricks could be level with the grass. And right here, that's me placing the bricks down, trying to make them as flat as possible. As you see there, I'm digging, I'm hitting it with the mallet, doing as much as I can to make it flat. This was probably the longest process because we had a total of 480 bricks to place for the patio, and I had to do that for each brick, so you can imagine how long that took. You can see it's brick by brick, takes forever. And in the end, we actually added 2 rows right there and there, so the fire pit could be like even in the center and it would all look nice and even. Now, of course, there was some help from my dad at the beginning to dig it out, because there was no way I would have done that by myself. I mean, that took forever, even with my dad helping me. Also, this first part right here, I am missing some of the time lapse. I don't know what happened to that. It just disappeared. Yeah. Different day. Still doing the same thing. Hitting them with the mallet as hard as I can, trying to get them flat. Now, you don't want to hit them too hard though, because they could crack and you don't want that. These bricks were expensive. After that, we did the cement first, and then after that we added the 2 rows, because then we decided to do that. So this is me putting cement down. You pour it down onto the bricks, you try to broom it into as many cracks as possible, and brooming takes a little bit, but it's pretty easy. And then once you feel like you've got it in the cracks, we used a leaf blower to blow all the residue cement from on top of the bricks, get them out of there, so that when we sprayed it with water, it wouldn't end up doing like a cover on top of cement. Instead, it's just the bricks and cement in between to keep them together, nice and tight. Right here, that's me just spraying it with water, and there you go. That's my time lapse. My learning stretch was dealing with challenges and a big project. I didn't really know how to do that. Also, learning how to research, that was tough. And there was also lots of heavy bricks. We had to do a total of 580 bricks, and that's around like 3 tons of bricks. So we had to go to the Home Depot 3 times, because the car's weight limit or weight capacity was around 2,000 pounds, which is 1 ton. So because of that, we had to put, like, we calculated out like how many bricks would weigh and how many we could put as the max. And then after that, we did 3 trips. Last trip, we used 2 cars. We used my car and my dad's, or family car, the van. After that, we had to bring them down the steps, which was very hard and painful. Total 480 patio bricks that we brought down at like 2 days. So that was painful. Also, I had to learn how to communicate with my mentor during the coronavirus, which is still happening, but so we had to FaceTime a lot, lots of texting, emailing. Then I showed him pictures of the finished product. And in conclusion, took lots of work and thinking. I'm proud of what I did. I'm glad it's over. And I'm very happy with how it turns out. We use the fire pit about like once a week now, so it's pretty nice. There you go. That's my project.